Hi, welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you enjoy my reading, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel in order to be notified when I upload new weekly and monthly videos. Now today I'll be doing a general monthly reading for each of the astrological signs for the month of October 2017. As the reading focuses on the general energy surrounding all of the signs this month, the messages may or may not resonate with you. For a more personalized reading that focuses specifically on you, please contact me at the email listed in the description box or the About section of this channel, changingphasestarot@gmail.com. You can also find pricing and more information about readings on my website, also listed in the description box below. Please check out my channel for general weekly readings, extended weekend readings, and daily tarot snapshot readings. And you can also join me on my Facebook page, Changing Phases Tarot. Now, for our monthly reading today, I will be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread plus one additional card from the bottom of the deck for the overall energy for the month of October. I'll be using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. There will be one additional guidance card from the Soulful Woman Guidance card deck. And I'll also pull an additional card from the Soul's Journey Oracle card deck to complement the reading. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful month of October, and I'll see you in a minute for your reading. Right, okay, Pisces. So this reading, again, is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of October 2017. And what we have as the overall energy for you, Pisces, is the Two of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is earth energy, so this has to do with material things, material possessions, tangible, earthly things such as, work, money, our finances. And with the Two of Pentacles, it has to do with balance, has to do with being able to balance many different things at the same time, being adaptable, going with the flow, right? And we see here that on this particular card, we have the lady, she's actually standing on her tippy toes, right? She's wearing sort of ballet slippers here, standing, which is very difficult to do, right? To balance like that. And to also balance the two pentacles, the two coins, right? So she's able to balance everything, even though it looks like it's, quite difficult to do. So it's, in our own lives, it's being able to balance and sort of rise up to meet life's challenges, being able to balance our home life with our work life with our school life, if you're in school, or all of that with our relationships. So it's about maintaining balance. So, as the overall energy for the month, I would say that balance is definitely going to be quite big, and, the needing to keep things balanced is definitely something that you will need to keep in mind and be conscientious of during the month of October. Now, at the center of the reading, let me move this so you can see the card, we have the Three of Cups. Cups is your own energy, Pisces, so this is water energy, which generally has to do with emotions, feelings, intuition as well. And the Three of Cups, it's all about harmonious relationships, friendships, being around other people, being with others, when you're open to helping and being with others, and then others are, able to help you. So it's spending quality time with people that you enjoy spending time with, your loved ones, your friends. So it's a very sociable card, right? So this could be speaking about, at the beginning of the month, a very social time for you, lots of commitments, gatherings, spending quality time with family and friends. So this might just be you sort of, needing to find some type of balance here between your work life, right? And now it's time to balance that out with some leisure time by, celebrating, meeting up with people that you enjoy spending time with. It can also have to do sometimes about, celebrations or celebrating special things such as birth announcements, engagements, weddings, birthdays, things like that. So it might be coming together with people for something special, not just a regular old get together on the weekend. There might be a special celebration coming up at the beginning of the month of October for you, Pisces. So now, even though life is sort of continues on with all of its problems and hassles and things like that, you're sort of taking the time out and realizing that you need to balance yourself out here, and you need some rest and sort of relaxation in your life. What's causing that is the Knight of Wands, and this is fire energy. Okay, so fire energy is sort of the fire signs. So since it is a court card, this could be, one of three things. This could be an actual person that might be around you during the month of October. It could be an event that might be happening, and it could also be the energy that you are taking on during the month of October, even though you are not a fire sign. This could be the energy that you're taking on. And, the fire energy, like its name says, is very fiery. It's action, right? It's sort of that creative, passionate, sort of active energy that helps us get things done, the day-to-day things that we need to do, has to do with work. So it's a very active energy. And the Knight of Wands, this could be sort of a younger, not as young as the Page, but a younger, or male sign, male fire sign. Doesn't necessarily have to be male, could be a female as well. We know that in the general readings, gender is not specific. So if this is a person, this would be somebody who typically is very confident, full of life, very passionate and fiery and adventurous. So again, fire sign male, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Or if this is you taking on this energy, this could just be you acting more confident, right? Having more energy to deal with a certain situation, right? This could be you sort of taking action and feeling full of life and ready to act on something in your own life. So, we know that the Pages of Wands, which is the card that comes before the Knight in the court cards, Pages are sort of the initial spark of something new, with this being fire, sort of creative ideas or something new, a new spark. And then the Knight comes in, and the Knight is the person who actually pursues that, right? Pursues the spark, or pursues the idea. So there's definitely more action associated with this Knight. And he is somebody who's, very committed, has a lot of energy into putting his ideas into action. So he's sort of fearless, right? It's a very fearless kind of energy. And sometimes the Knight of Wands can indicate an event, right? So if this is an event, it would be a quick event, something that happens, enters your life quickly, unexpectedly. Since this is crossing as the obstacle here to the Three of Cups card, this could be, something new that comes in very quickly around the beginning of October for you, that possibly has to do with this celebration, or that brings about some type of celebration. Definitely has something to do with the celebration here. So if this is, a job, this might be a new change of job, right? Something that comes in quickly. Maybe you applied for a position in the past, and there's news that comes in quickly about it, right? Or this could be you moving home quickly, or moving to a different city or state, something like that. So it's definitely hasty, sort of have to be ready to act quickly and go with the flow. It's kind of hopeless or useless to resist, right? So it's just going with the flow, and fast-paced energy here, crossing the celebration card. What you have at the foundation, or as the foundation of your reading, Pisces, is the Queen of Cups. So this is, obviously Cups is water energy, so this is your energy. It's all about emotions, feelings, intuition, and the Queen of Cups is somebody who is very nurturing, very caring, compassionate, sensitive. She's somebody who, is typically seen as being a good wife, a good mother. She's somebody who's very emotionally secure. She can connect emotionally with other people. She's generally a very fair person, somebody who's warm-hearted, right? As it's a Cups card, it's all about feelings. So she's that very warm-hearted type of person, right? Many times she can work as a sort of a counselor, a healer, even a sidekick. She's the type of person who knows, or seems to know, what is wrong with you even before you start to tell her. So she generally has, tries to offer at least a solution to problems that have to do with relationships, emotions, things like that. Again, as it's a court card, this could actually manifest this month as a person in your life, right? Or as just a part of yourself, right? And if this is a person, again, this would be an older female water sign. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but again, with the queen, you know, kind of think of her more as the motherly, you know, the mother figure. But it's not really gender specific. So this might be, you know, water sign, older water sign female around you this month. This could be sort of you taking on, or acting more in a more compassionate manner, right? Being more sensitive or needing to be more sensitive this month. And it also has to do with intuition, right? As she is usually able to pick up on people's feelings, right? She uses her intuition quite a bit. So this might be, you know, as the foundation of the reading, maybe you are needing to be more in touch with your intuition or more in touch with your emotions this month in order to sort of deal with whatever changes we have coming in here, right? What we have in the past position, another Cups card, we have here is a younger Cups card though. It's a page of Cups. So like I was just explaining here with the Knight of Wands and what comes before is the Page, here we have the Page of Cups. So can be a younger water sign, right? So Aquarius, Scorpio, Libra, or Cancer. I'm messing them all up, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces for the water sign. So this could be a younger water sign, male or female here. And this is usually, you know, somebody who is young, so this young energy, a very sensitive soul, somebody who is very honest, open, you know, open and receptive to new opportunities. And like I was saying with the Page of Wands, who brings in new things, the Page of Cups also brings in new messages, right? So the Page is a messenger. Pages can bring in messages about beginnings of a new relationship. This can be, you know, romantic relationship, a spiritual relationship, a partnership. It can also be a new birth, right? So news of a new birth. Maybe that's what you found out about in the past, and this is why you're celebrating here with the Three of Cups, right? But and if, you know, it could also be, yeah, definitely could have to do with, you know, some type of news of a new birth and celebrations about that. So this is very, you know, it's nice energy. It's very warm, loving energy. It's a younger person though, and if this is you, this will be you taking on this energy, right? And again, since it's Cups, it's somebody who's in tune with his or her intuition. So also this new message, it could be message of a new creative project, a new creative venture. It doesn't necessarily have to be just emotions. It's a message of something that brings you emotional happiness or fulfillment, right? So something that's creative, you know, something that has to do with creativity and new projects, new ventures. Could be also, since it is this Cups card, and you know, quite a bit of, we see here with the Moon, right? The Moon is quite prominent in both of these cards. We know that the Moon card in the Tarot deck, and you know, typically brings in messages, but not in the normal way that we receive messages, right? And whereas the Sun sort of illuminates and shines light on things to make things clearer, with the Moon, you can see that it's very cloudy, right? This is sort of a mist, there's a fog around it, there's a cloud around it. So many times with the Moon, you know, we need to use our unconscious mind, we need to use our intuition, because many times it's our unconscious mind trying to speak with us through our dreams, through synchronicities, right? So pay attention to things like that. Pay attention to synchronicities in your life. Pay attention to different dreams that you might be getting at this time, right? So maybe this was something actually that came in, since it's in the past position. This might have been something, some type of message that you received at night while you were asleep, or through your intuition here, right? Again, it's a very positive message. So usually something very positive, sort of message of a birth, message of an engagement, message of marriage, right? Pregnancy, new relationship. So very positive here. What we have crowning our reading is not the best of cards, but we'll look at the meaning of it. The Ten of Swords. You can see here that, you know, it shows the woman, she's sort of face down in the snow. She has 10 swords in her back, so definitely somebody who has literally been stabbed in the back here. So betrayed, right? It's a card that deals with betrayal, feeling it at one's lowest, right? When we have this card appear. But, like, you know, everything in life, there are sort of two sides to it. So even though this is, you know, it depicts the lowest point or lowest situation in somebody's life, we know that it's also necessary that for something to end, right, in order for something else to begin. So even though the person might be feeling, you know, stabbed in the back like a victim, the person needed to sort of go through this in order to make it to the other side. And what comes after the Ten of Swords is the Ace. And aces are new offerings, new beginnings. So the 10, it's the end of a particular cycle, right? And even though this, you know, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're going through something like the Ten of Swords, it's just important to remember that, you know, it is the end of a cycle. And even though it's been very difficult, new beginnings are on the other end of it, on the other side of it, right? So new beginnings definitely coming in here. And, you know, I kind of see that more with the cards that we have going along here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So whatever this Ten of Swords is that you have in the crowning position, this, you know, as it's crowning, it's in your thoughts, it's on your mind, and the Ten of Swords itself, it's air energy, right? Swords is air energy, which has to do with mental, cerebral, you know, your thoughts. And many times, these are things that, you know, I'm not saying that this wasn't something bad, it very well might have been, but, you know, many times with the Swords cards, it's more about our thoughts and that repetitive thinking and going over and over and over something in our mind that ends up hurting us even more, right, and keeps it that much sort of realer and that much, you know, more alive in our mind. So it is only, it's mental energy here, so it's our thoughts. But this does represent, you know, a change here. It's an end of a cycle, so something else is coming in. And what we have in the future position, very different energy, right? Completely different energy. It's the Earth suit, so Queen of Pentacles. Again, Pentacles is Earth, so it has to do with material, tangible, much like the Two of Pentacles over here, right? The Earth Mother, I mean, the Queen of Pentacles, we call her the Earth Mother, I mean, that's really what she's sort of known as, right? She's this down-to-earth, very practical woman, financially savvy, right? So she deals with Pentacles, finances, very resourceful, very generous, very nurturing, right? Very supportive, especially supportive, or, you know, she loves children and animals, so definitely Earth Mother. She loves to cultivate the land. And here we see her sitting on her sort of tree throne, right, looking very regal, right, very, very sort of comfortable in her surroundings, and she does welcome everybody with a very warm and open heart. So we have two queens here. This could be, you know, these could be two different women around you, you know, during the month of October. This could be, like I said before, the older water sign female, or here it would be an older earth sign female. Could be, right? If it is, then that would be, you know, a Capricorn, a Virgo, a Taurus for this card. Or again, this just could be your energy, right? So coming up in the future, you might be feeling or taking on the energy of this Earth Mother card. You might be feeling, you know, more sort of open-hearted, more willing to welcome people in, more resourceful. Maybe things are picking up as far as finances go, right? Maybe this is news here, possibly could be linked to that, right? With the finance, or sort of the balancing of the finances over here. Now here you are much more, you know, stable. So you're feeling very stable here, feeling very confident and powerful and resourceful. So this is definite progression here and moving away from this energy, certainly. Although when we come down here to you and who you are in the reading, again, we have not such a great card. We have another Swords energy card. And we have the Three of Swords. Okay, now the Three of Swords is, sometimes it's referred to as the heartbreak card, right? Sometimes it's referred to as the, you know, the three people in a relationship card. Can have to do with that. It does represent heartbreak. I mean, it really isn't a great card, right? It has to do with sort of disappointment, betrayal, abandonment. We see here that, you know, because most of the time on the in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, we know that the card has, it's a heart with three swords stabbing it, right? So that's why it's typically associated with some type of romantic, you know, betrayal, disappointment. So if it's a three-party situation, maybe that's something that, you know, you may have gone through or you might be going through. Maybe this is this difficult situation that you have on your mind here, right? Looking for balance, possibly. That could have to do with that too, tying in there. But with, you know, the Three of Swords card, it doesn't necessarily have to do with that, right? It can have to do with just, you know, things going on around you, right? It could just have more to do with difficult choices, right? And we know that with the card that comes immediately before it, the Two of Swords, it's the card that represents needing to make a choice, but not knowing which way to go, not knowing which choice, you know, which path to take, or which is the best option. So whatever you chose in the past with the Two of Swords, the Three is kind of you living with your decision, right? So it's you living with the consequences of whatever the difficult decision or choice was, represented in the Two of Swords. So maybe, you know, maybe you did have to make a difficult decision, and now you're sort of dealing with that. You're recovering from that. You know, and even though this looks, again, it does look quite bleak, you know, the choice has been made, right? And it's can also have to do with release, so needing to sort of let go. Once again, this is Swords energy, so it's thoughts. So let go of this, just like you need to let go of that to allow new things to come in. And we see here, I mean, what comes in immediately after this card is a wonderful card. It's another card that has to do with endings, much like the Ten of Swords here, right? The World card is in the Major Arcana. This is number 21 of the Major Arcana. The World card is all about new beginnings, right? New cycles. Let me hold this up so you can see it. I love this card. Okay, and we see that she is sitting on top of the World, which is on top of a lotus flower. She has butterflies encircling her, right? So many symbols going on in this card. And it's the, you know, sort of the culmination of the Fool's journey. We think in the Major Arcana, the Fool is card 0, and the Fool is the one who is just beginning on his journey. He sort of sets out very fearless, not knowing really where he's going, but he does, you know, he trusts in the journey. And we make it all the way through the Major Arcana to number 21, which is the World. So it's the culmination of the Fool's journey, right? So it's the card of universal understanding, sort of the highest level of consciousness, completion of a cycle, but the promise of a new beginning. And you know, this figure, she appears to be meditating, sort of listening to the universe here. It's kind of hard to see, but the necklace that she's wearing, it has the Hindu symbol Om, right, which symbolizes sort of the most perfect integration of mind, body, spirit. So a definite energy here of new beginnings. This can also represent travel across water, travel to distant lands. You know, again, completion of cycles. So new beginnings, right? Endings and beginnings here. And with this celebration card and, you know, the Knight of Wands coming in, this could also have to do with, you know, with a move, with a moving home. This could be tied in with that, right? There could be something new coming up for you, but you need to release. You need to release the pain from this Three of Swords card here, from whatever disappointment this was. You need to release this Ten of Swords energy here, and understand that, you know, yes, it was necessary. You know, in life we oftentimes have to go through these difficult situations, but look where you are now, right? This is what you have in your environment. This is sort of the energy hovering around you, surrounding you during the month of October, Pisces. Now, what you have in your hopes and fears is justice. So, this is interesting. You could very well be hoping for justice at this time, right? And this is a card, a major arcana card, that represents fairness, honesty, acting in an ethical manner, right? It also has to do with sort of weighing all sides, thinking about things very carefully before making important decisions. But it also has to do with being accountable, right? Taking responsibility for our actions. We see here that she is holding, she has, the sword in one hand, scale in the other. She's standing here very close to a sort of above this river of truth, right? And, this river of truth sort of represents the fine balance that it takes oftentimes to find the truth. And it just sort of reminds us, this card, that even though events in our life may seem unjust, like we have here with these two lovely cards, the Swords cards, there is divine order to the universe. So, with this card coming in, this could have to do with, since it's the Justice card, many times it's linked with legal issues. So this could be you dealing with legal proceedings, dealing with a lawyer, a judge, could be the government, IRS, things like that. But things definitely going in your favor here. This also could just be, you dealing with, is a card that's very tied to karmic or past life relationships. So there could be some type of karmic justice involved here. And if this is a situation that, somebody did this to you, right? Maybe you were treated unfairly. This just tells you that things are changing, right? Things are changing, going around, and justice will be served here. So it's a positive card. It tells you that, there will be justice served. So if you are in a legal dispute, or if you're waiting for something, for an answer on something, this is a yes. So this is, it also does remind us, just on sort of a side note, if you're looking over legal documents or contracts, things like that at this time, if it has to do with a new job, if this has to do any type of contract, just make sure that you pay attention to the document, to the fine print, right? Make sure that everything's fine before you sign it. But again, this is all about sort of karmic justice, and you will come out ahead, even if you haven't, if you've been through difficult things here, you come out ahead with this card. Our outbound energy, we have the King of Swords, and this is, it's a very strong energy to have leaving the month of October, going into the month of November. He is somebody, again, more swords energy here, so more cerebral, somebody who uses his intellect over emotions. He's very stern, but he's also very truthful, very decisive. He's holding in his right hand, he has the sword, his left hand is sort of resting on his knee, so it looks very powerful, very regal here. He is quite harsh, but he's truthful, he's honest, so he does symbolize intellectual power, authority. He's also somebody who sort of has the courage and the intellect to accomplish what he wants, so he does represent, judgment and rulership, but he also represents, great power and intellect to achieve things. Because of his sort of stern nature, this could be somebody who works as a lawyer or a judge. Interesting that he comes immediately after the Justice card, because many times he's tied in with sort of those types of figures, right? Somebody who is who uses laws and uses diplomacy, who uses things like that in their day-to-day life. This could be you taking on this energy, right, as you leave the month. Maybe you have come to a point where you realize that you need to sort of use your intellect and leave the emotions behind in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So you can solve problems by using your intellect here, but by acting fairly, right? So you have the clarity of mind in order to be objective, to achieve what you want to achieve, but fairly, right? Leaving emotions out of it, being as rational as possible. Again, if this is a person, this would be an older fire sign, air sign male. If this is a man, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be, could be a woman as well. So this could be, you know, either an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And again, somebody who might work as an attorney, financial advisor, or something along those lines. Somebody with a, you know, solid reputation, somebody who's very honest and knowledgeable, right? Or you could be taking on this energy. So very interesting reading here for the month of October. Let's see, the two cards that we have as additional messages. The first one is called Empathy, and this is from the Soul's Journey deck by James Van Praagh. And Empathy says, let me see, I'm just going to read from the guidebook because each of the oracle cards, they come with their own guidebook. So I'm going to read the message from the guidebook for you. Empathy says, you don't truly understand others' motivations if you haven't lived their lives and seen the world through their eyes. It's so easy to judge another's behavior matched up against your own and label it as right or wrong. But you're missing an important part of the equation, the other person's history and personal story. We are all sparks of the divine with a purpose here in the physical dimension, and we can all exert our free will. Some of us have lost our way along the path to love, and it is a human reaction to judge others before examining their journey through their eyes and with compassion. Your job is not to judge. Your job is to love and understand. This is interesting if we try to sort of tie it in here with these two cards and thinking, you know, maybe when you're the person who is hurt in a situation, it's a little difficult to see things from the other person's point of view. Sometimes it's almost impossible, right? It's very difficult to see both sides in the situation. But, you know, it tells us don't judge, which is interesting after these two cards to have, you know, the judge and legal and sort of being that type of person who uses their intellect to, you know, to evaluate situations, things like that. Here it's just saying, you know, try to be open-minded, try to be more compassionate, try to see things from the other person's point of view as well, which isn't always easy. The second card is the Soulful Woman from the Soulful Woman deck, and it's card number 33 called Inner Wakefulness. And it says, again, I'm reading from the guidebook, I have within me an inner wakefulness that supports my natural dignity and wisdom. At times, I experience this wakefulness as a small, steady light. At other times, it is like a blazing sun. When I'm called upon to face a challenge or negotiate a big life transition, the light of my wakefulness illuminates my inner resources, reminding me of my strengths and abilities. My inner light is steady and strong, even when I'm feeling vulnerable. It opens me to that which is sacred within me, the big me that can hold the bigger picture, that connects me to my wholeness and steadiness, my potential to be completely present, wakeful, and attuned to my truth and wisdom holds me steady in the midst of chaos or psychological distress. So this, I guess, we could sort of see how it goes along with the Two of Pentacles and the need for balance, right? The need to be more in tune, even though things might be a little out of our control. There might be chaos, right? Psychological problems. It's just saying, you know, be more present, right? Find that balance. And by finding the balance, I think that, you know, just like we see her here, she's present, she's in the moment on the card here, right, with the World card. In doing so, we are able to gain the clarity, to see, right, what exactly the situation is, to have that clear perspective. So I think those are two nice cards to complement the reading for the month. So thank you again for joining me, Pisces. I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way, and I wish you a month full of success and positive energies. And I look forward to reading for you again next month. So take care, and I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye.